The road to another championship is becoming more clear for the Kansas City Chiefs.
It showed the toughness of the team.
The moments that secured them the #1 seed in the AFC.
The Chiefs are bringing the heat, and Joe's KC's ready to bring the meat for playoff season.
Saying see ya to food trucks in an area of KCK.
It's like, where do we go now?
The reason for their removal.
KMBC 9 News at 5 starts now.
Well, the Kansas City Chiefs are the best team in the AFC, securing that top spot in the playoffs. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jackson Kurtz.
And I'm Jamie Weiss. Yesterday's win against the Steelers was their 15th win of the season. That's a franchise record. We got to bring in KMBC 9's Taylor Kaufman joining us in studio tonight. And Taylor, the fact that we're in this spot comes with a lot of perks for the Chiefs.
That's right, you guys. Being at the top means the Chiefs have a first-round bye as well as home field advantage for the playoffs. The Chiefs had a commanding lead over the Steelers in yesterday's game, and they held on to it to the end of that game. 29-10, the final score, the largest point spread of the season, if you could believe that. Yesterday's win capped off a grueling stretch for the team, 3 games in 11 days. But quarterback Patrick Mahomes says it showed everyone around the league just how tough the Chiefs are.
And I think we got better as obviously the games went on. And so the guys, they're mentally tough and they're physically tough. And we played some really good football teams, some hard-fought battles, and the guys came away with 3 wins. So getting that #1 seed is important. It's like winning a playoff game. And so I was happy to get that done.
The Chiefs now get a nice long break after that brutal stretch of games. They'll take on the Broncos in Denver for their last game of the regular season. That's on Sunday, January 5th. The league hasn't announced the time for kickoff just yet.
We're going to pay close attention to that. Thanks, Taylor. We know that playoff tickets for the divisional game are on sale right now. So here's a look at the Chiefs website. We can share that tickets are starting around, I think it was $175 at last check. The day and time are still to be determined, but we know it's going to be either January 18th or 19th. We'll let you know once we find out. But bringing the playoffs back to Kansas City means a big boost for local businesses.
Absolutely does. KMBC 9's Morgan Mobley takes us to Joe's Barbecue, where pitmasters are already preparing for a rush in orders.
Our Super Bowl champs have clinched the #1 seed, bringing all playoff games home to Arrowhead, and in turn, a lot of people through the doors here at Joe's KC.
Got a Z-Man, a jumbo brisket sandwich, 2 orders of fries, order up.
Between all the traveling fans coming to town, Joe's already being a KC destination located inside an old gas station, the boost from bets the Mares have going during playoffs, and tons of catered watch parties. The Chiefs postseason has officially become Joe's peak season.
Yeah, so, on a normal weekday, we would do maybe, let's say 150 slabs of ribs per restaurant. And so when we add a Chiefs home game and add a playoff bump to it, you're probably talking between 300 and 400. So we're not only going to double our volume, but then probably another 20 to 25% on top of that.
That said, it's never too early to start getting your orders in for those watch parties. Reporting in KCK, Morgan Mobley, KMBC 9 News.
Another role Joe's KC will be playing on the road to the three-peat, fueling up defensive tackle Chris Jones. He's a regular there. On his weekly visits, he gets pounds of burnt ends and a roasted chicken. We'll count on KMBC 9 News for all of your Chiefs coverage as we draw closer to the playoffs. We'll bring you updates as the team prepares for the next matchups, and we'll have post-game reaction and much more.
Do you think that's what Mother Nature needs, Pete Grigsby? Just some Joe's Barbecue to bring us some sunshine?
Yeah, we put it away from us like 2 states across and have the fog travel over there to get it.
Honestly, that's what we got to do.
That's what we'll do. But in the meantime, we got to deal with this. A little bit of light rain now moving in on the Kansas side. This is First Alert Live Doppler radar. That light shower all the way from Lawrence down through Ottawa and even Garnett. A little bit there, very close to Olathe. On the Missouri side, very little at this time. Cameron's getting a little light shower just northwest of there and also very close to St. Joseph. And then we've had a little bit of light rain being reported when it's popping up on the radar in the metro area. Everybody's getting fog at this time. In fact, the dense fog advisory is in effect until 12 noon tomorrow for all these counties highlighted, basically almost everyone. It's going to be quite foggy tonight through tomorrow morning and then maybe let up just a little bit by tomorrow afternoon. But with that, we've also got to deal with some light to pockets of moderate rainfall. Look at the visibility, less than half a mile in most locations. And look at Kansas City alone. Very dense fog for Platte County down through the heart of downtown area. And again, it's going to be that way if you are planning to go out this evening. There's a live shot of the plaza. It's going to be holding steady in the mid-40s, and the air is fully saturated, and the wind speed's only 5 to 10 miles an hour. More about this, and of course, your weekend forecast and New Year's Eve forecast straight ahead.
Right now, Kansas City, Missouri police are investigating after a homicide this morning. Officers were called to Forest Ridge Villas off East 134th Street in Holmes just before 4 a.m. When police arrived, they found a woman who was killed. Officers believe the victim and a man were involved in a verbal altercation that turned physical. A person of interest has been taken into custody. And a crash in Kansas City leaves one person dead. It happened near Winter Road in Hardesty around 4 a.m. Police say a BMW driver was speeding when they crossed into the wrong lane, hit a median, then a traffic pole before hitting this building. The driver died at the scene. The passenger is in the hospital with serious injuries.
We do have an update on the different crash happening in Kansas City. A person of interest is now in custody after hitting a pedestrian near 83rd and Troost earlier this month. The driver fled the scene after the accident. The man who was hit died from his injuries days later. Police have also found the vehicle of that person of interest that they were driving at the time. Food trucks, along with a few blocks in Kansas City, Kansas, will be banned for 2 months starting tomorrow.
And the city is reporting many health and safety violations. KMBC 9's Krista Tatchell is live getting answers along a block of popular food trucks.
Yeah, we're at 18th and Central, and the city said this is the problem, and it's kind of an ew. It's all the grease that is being dumped into the sewer, and they are saying it's from some of the food trucks in the area. They say it's not just grease, it's ash from illegal fires, and then they dump what's left into the sewer. Also trash, and things are going in there, and it is causing some major plumbing backups in the area. So there is a ban for 60 days while they start to clean up the problem. Now, Environmental Services began that cleaning and checking of the sewer pipes this afternoon while we were here on scene, checking for spots of grease calcification. The grease hardens faster in the cold weather, making these dense formations that kind of look like petrified rocks. The city has to break those up and clear them. These grease balls combined with trash can back up, causing flooding inside residents and businesses and out on the streets. Now, the restaurants around here have fog permits. That means fat, oils, and grease permits. They have to report quarterly the methods of grease disposal. Well, the food trucks, they don't have to have those fog permits. The city says they're racing against the cold temperatures to get the pipes on this block and those adjacent cleaned up by February, when the ban is expected to be lifted.
When you're cooking in your own kitchen and you do bacon grease, okay? And if you pour that down the pipe, it's in a liquid form, but as it goes down the pipe, it eventually makes it out to the sewer main. And the colder it is, the colder time of the year, the quicker that hardens up.
Yeah, the city said they do want to cut down on anything being thrown in these sewers. They said the only thing that should be in there is rainwater, but that is not happening right now. Well, we spoke with some of the food truck owners in this area. As we said, it's a really popular place for this. That they said they're just going to move a couple blocks in either direction and keep businesses going as they can. They said they will comply with this. Also, if you are caught throwing things down into the sewer, it's a $2,500 fine. Krista Tatchell, live in KCK. Back to you.
Thank you. The city also says that the food truck vendors don't move their trucks by tomorrow, they could be charged with trespassing.
Tonight, Kansas City, Missouri leaders and leaders of the Jewish community will celebrate Hanukkah by lighting a giant 12-foot tall menorah. Their ceremony starts at 6:30 at City Hall tonight, and afterwards, someone else will light the candles each night at 7 o'clock based on what night of Hanukkah it is. Tonight is the second night. And Christmas hits come and gone, so now many might be wondering, what do you do with your tree? Well, KMBC 9's Alan Shope shows us a safe disposal option in Wyandotte County.
It just so happens that we've always had live trees.
Jake Schmitz grew up on a Christmas tree farm. Every year they celebrate the holidays with a real thing.
And those great pine tree smells.
And that's why the two say a place like this one, provided by the county to recycle trees, are so important.
You know, if you can reuse the nutrients from the tree as compost and fertilize other plants later, that just seems like a really good way to deal with your waste.
The county offering up 4 locations to recycle those old Christmas trees. The free service is available to anyone in the Wyandotte County, Kansas City, Kansas area. They just ask that all the decorations on the tree have been removed prior to dropping them off at the designated sites.
When the city offers those services, it helps a lot just to make the situation a little bit more manageable.
At Wyandotte County Park, the drop-off location is right next to the baseball fields, and they'll be accepting trees
between now and January 31st.
And while the Schmitz family says it's always hard to say goodbye to that holiday tree, they appreciate knowing there's a spot to take it.
If we can all just work together as a community to put things where they belong instead of just in a random place on the roadside, it keeps our whole community looking a lot cleaner, and it helps everybody out.
Parks and Rec crews will be picking up the piles from locations 1 to 2 times a week until January 31st. In Wyandotte County, Alan Schulp, KMBC 9 News.
To see all of the drop-off locations, visit wicokck.org. People can recycle their tree through January 31st.
This is a live shot of the plaza on a Thursday afternoon. Plenty of fog out there. If you are heading out, be prepared for the fog and some light rain. Also be prepared. How about rain chances kicking in for tomorrow and through your Saturday morning? Details as we track that on our 9-day forecast.
Right now, dangerous weather is hitting parts of the country, the troubles it's causing for travelers.
The holidays are winding down and returns are on the rise. We break down the best ways to make that process hassle-free.
It's great to see you back, Mr. Gilmore.
Adam Sandler returns to the putting green with the help of some other famous faces. See the sneak peek of the Happy Gilmore sequel.
Your station leading the way with First Alert Weather, Kansas City's most experienced team, KMBC 9 News. Your station leading the way with coverage of what's happening right now and what's next. KMBC 9 News.
Today is expected to be one of the busiest travel days of the season. Nearly 120 million people are taking to the roads and the skies.
And the weather could be a major curveball that slows things down. ABC's Zoran Shaw shows us the conditions across the country and the tips in case you're in one of those travelers heading back home.
It's expected to be one of the busiest days this holiday season, with nearly 120 million travelers expected to travel during the year-end holiday period. With 90% of them driving, roads are expected to be jam-packed across America. Weather could pose a curveball as millions try to get back home. Tuesday night, parts of New England receiving up to a foot of snow, creating dangerous road conditions. In Vermont, this SUV sliding on ice, slamming into a vehicle being loaded onto a tow truck. In the south, a storm system moving through the next day, producing treacherous weather with strong winds, hail, and tornadoes. Eastern Texas likely receiving the brunt of the storms before it moves on to Louisiana and Arkansas this evening. And the West Coast also slammed, an atmospheric river and several storms pummeling the region. From California to Colorado, a total of 9 states on wind, avalanche, snow, and high surf alerts. Watch as a Coast Guard saves a man and a dog from a vessel in distress off Jefferson County, Washington. And Utah to Washington could see up to 3 feet of snow. This video showing challenging driving conditions during Christmas snow in Canyon, Utah. And hail pounding Cypress, Texas on Christmas Eve. The West won't be seeing a break until early next week. Travel experts say the best time to drive is before 11 a.m. and the worst between noon and 5 p.m. Zoreen Shah, ABC News Los Angeles.
And if you're flying or have a long delay or cancellation, new rules now require airlines to give cash refunds if a flight is canceled or significantly delayed and you choose not to fly.
The first report for holiday shopping is out now, and overall sales increased almost 4% compared to a year ago. There was big growth in e-commerce. Online purchases surged almost 7% from last year, while sales in-store were up about 3%. Spending was up in most categories like clothing, jewelry, and electronics. And get this, 1/10 of all holiday sales came between December 20th and December 24th. Okay, last-minute shoppers, you did a great job getting those gifts.
And most of the holiday shopping is behind us, and now many people are heading back to stores for another reason, to make returns. If you don't have a receipt, experts say a lot of retailers are willing to work with you, but it's possible that you'll be limited to exchanging the gift or returning for store credit rather than a refund. If you're planning to ship an item back to the seller, make sure you understand the costs.
So looking at the seller's return policy, pay attention to who pays for that shipping. Because if you have to pay, you might be able to save on some fees if you're able to also return that to a local store.
Retailers say it's best to look up these details beforehand. You can do that by checking the policies on the store's website.
It is game day in Phoenix for Kansas State football. They are playing in the Rutgers Rate Bowl. So kickoff happened at 4:30 right now. It is the end of the first quarter. Rutgers has the lead 4-3. Still time for the Wildcats to make back. Mizzou is also playing in a bowl game against Iowa. The Tigers and Hawkeyes will kick off in Nashville this upcoming Monday at 1:30. Okay, this is probably my favorite story of the night. This holiday season, Netflix is giving Adam Sandler fans something to be happy about.
It's great to see you back, Mr. Gilmore.
We've only just begun.
I mean, this got me so excited. The streaming giant dropped the first teaser for Happy Gilmore 2. And if you saw, Chiefs star Travis Kelce makes a quick appearance in the trailer on Netflix. The sequel comes nearly 3 decades after the original movie, which became one of Adam Sandler's most beloved roles. Happy Gilmore will stream exclusively on Netflix next year.
Exclusive live radar and 9-day forecast, so you'll know first. This is First Alert Weather.
I was just saying, bad golf weather today. Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't see the ball if you hit it.
No, and some visibility, you can't even see 10 feet in front of you. It's pretty thick out there. I'd add to that, we're getting a little bit of rainfall now moving in, and we expected this. The rain showers chances increasing as we get into our Thursday night into Friday morning. Talked about that for the entire week. And we're starting to see a little bit of light rain now moving into areas like Lawrence, Ottawa, down through Garnett, Kansas. On Missouri side, it's very little at this time, but our chances of rain actually do increase as we get further into the evening, into the overnight hours. What's definite for everybody is going to be the fog. The fog continues. We've had several days of this. It continues to be a dense fog advisory in effect till 12 noon tomorrow for all these counties highlighted. Now, don't mean to leave you out, Odessa and Warrensburg. You'll get your share of fog in addition to this, but you're also going to be warming up a little ahead of us as we talk about the weekend forecast in just a bit. And look at these visibility numbers. I mean, okay, 0 for Kansas City now, 0 for Leavenworth, also Platte County into Clay County. You kind of get the idea. So if you're heading out, I mean, even with your fog lamps on in your car, take it nice and slowly because you're not going to see too far ahead of you, especially if you're heading out. Look at the plaza with all the Christmas lights and all that. You can only see half of them. 47 degrees right now, relative humidity at 100%. The air is fully saturated. Looking at the rainfall to the south, moving into the northeast direction for southeast Kansas and southwest Missouri. We're getting just very light rain even as we speak. Don't expect any sunshine anytime soon, but if you are heading out, 46 degrees seems to be the number all the way up until about midnight with a wind flow about 5 to 10 miles an hour. 9-day forecast, we'll start with tomorrow morning at 45 degrees with fog, light shower here and there. That's going to carry through the afternoon. We'll barely push about 50 for the afternoon high. Wind speeds about 5 to 10 miles an hour, shifting more from a west direction. As we look ahead to Saturday, leftover fog in the morning, and I'm being optimistic here. I think we might get some sunshine breaking through by Saturday afternoon. The high expected about 53 degrees. After morning start about 40. Your timeline for that, after we have a few leftover showers early morning before sunrise It'll be mostly breaking apart. 53 by 4 o'clock, mostly clear skies by Saturday night. That'll lead to a fairly nice Sunday. Sunday's high 54. You like these temperatures above normal? The normal, by the way, is 40 degrees. You're going to have to 54 Sunday, 53 on Monday with a chance of rain moving in, and then the bottom drops out. You're going to have a high of only 40. 37 for a high as you welcome in the brand new year of 2025. 35 for a high Thursday, and then the following Friday, 32. So if you're making those plans for New Year's Eve, it's going to be colder. High of only 40 with a brisk wind. That evening, mid-30s. New Year's Day, how about that? Cold and a high of only 37. We will be right back.
The holidays are a good time to cozy up on the couch and watch a good documentary, and the Very Local app is full of chronicles.
They are, including The War Within. This candid look at mental health focuses on the personal stories of 4 people in Kansas City. One of them is strange music artist King ISO, who addresses mental health at every show.
Sometimes you gotta talk for the ones who ain't here. So I'm gonna talk for him.
He's known by the name King ISO, a rap artist focused on breaking hip-hop stereotypes and ending the stigma surrounding mental health.
I never wanted to kill myself. Just end the part of me.
I look at shows as group therapy sessions. You know, I get to talk to so many different people and a wide variety of them about so many things.
When you wake up in the morning and you feel like you can't get up out of bed.
King ISO not only addresses mental health on stage,
you ain't never dealt with this pain yet.
It's also the inspiration for his music. The breakout song on his 2020 album is Audacious, suicide spelled backwards.
Suicide, dog, call it Audacious, cause I never wanted to kill myself.
And I finally found the words to put in a song about it, so boom, it just hit me one day, and then I was like, yeah, I gotta do that.
ISO is very open about his own struggles with mental health. As a teenager, he attempted suicide.
I popped a bunch of pills, and I called one of my friends, and I'm like, yo, it's over. Like, and that phone call of me reaching out to somebody was probably what saved my life.
Homeless as a teenager, ISO spent time in and out of jail.
That's when I was like, okay, look, I've lost everything. I need to get my freedom back. I need to get my mind back. I need to get my stability back.
It was from inside that cell he began to evolve into a man with a mission to end the shame of mental illness and support those who are just like him.
Do you love yourself enough to accept the help? Do you love yourself enough to face your problems and whatever it is and to get better?
It's a good message. Chronicle, The War Within, is available to stream right now on the Very Local app. You can also watch several of our other Chronicle documentaries. The easiest way is to search KMBC Chronicle in the Very Local app.
David Muir, ABC's World News Tonight, the most watched newscast in America, and honored with the Emmy Award, winner for Outstanding Live News Program. More Americans watch World News Tonight with David Muir than any other newscast.
Tonight at 6, helping Kansas families in need. We're used to hearing about the season of giving, but that work continues long after the holidays.
Plus, important reminders to keep your pets safe. As temperatures drop, we have some spots to check to keep your dogs healthy.
All right, more of the same. Fog if you're headed out. Temperature holding steady around 46 degrees. A little bit of light rain moving into the area. We'll have a few leftover showers in the morning, even through the early afternoon. And guess what? More fog.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I know. Just can't get enough of it. All right, a little bit of sunshine might break through. Don't hold your breath, especially late in the afternoon. But being optimistic, it looks better for the weekend. So Saturday and Sunday, and temperature rising, a little bit of sunshine.
Yeah.
People might freak out when they see that glowing thing.
Oh,
in
I
the
can't
sky.
wait.
Every day feels like Sunday. There's fog and it's after Christmas. It's like,
It's like Groundhog's Day.
yeah,
Oh, wait.
yeah, same day.
Maybe Groundhog's Day should actually be like that week between Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, I go
Because
for
every
that.
day feels like the same.
You're right, you're right. But we'll have the 9-day again at 6 o'clock.
Good deal. Well, thank you for joining us tonight.
ABC World News is next, and we'll see you right back here at 6 o'clock.